quick episode recap. Tenjo Yuuya, a boy who was bullied and shunned his entire life, one day steps up to save a girl from some delinquents. His entire life has been a cascade of unfortunate events, but one day, he finds a hidden room in his house that held a door which connected to another world. He encountered strong monsters, but by defeating them, he levels up, transforming his body into something stunning. Everyone is shocked to see his new change, and he is dragged out to be questioned, but the girl he saved before appears in search of him. Despite his new appearance, she recognizes him, but he seems to have forgotten her. She reminds him of the incident which got him beat up, and upon remembering, asks how she knows his name. She admits she investigated him not long after in order to thank him, and invites him to attend Ousei Academy. It's an academy for the elite, and Yuuya instantly recognizes it. The girl then formally introduces herself as Hojo Kaori, an officer of the student council at the academy. Her father is the chairman of the academy, and after hearing of his daughter's plight, was more than happy to invite Yuuya to join the school. He is flattered, however he doesn't think he is smart enough to attend. His brother interrupts to promote himself and his sister to take Yuuya's place instead. They are superior to him both academically and physically, but Kaori shuts them down. She doesn't want the people who insult her savior to enroll at her school. She's already investigated them, and she's well aware of what they've done before. Kaori clarifies to Yuuya that her school prioritizes one's character over academic ability, and encourages him to join. The attendant suggests it might be better to give Yuuya a tour of the school, so Kaori quickly pulls Yuuya away, and they drive off. The siblings seem to have plans of revenge for the earlier embarrassment. They've arrived at the academy, and Yuuya goes on in a monologue about how famous the school is, as the students all excel in a certain field. He then meets with the chairman, who thanks him for helping Kaori. Yuuya tries to downplay his role, but Kaori explains that he was the only one that took action despite so many others witnessing what was happening. The chairman personally extends the offer to attend the school, even willing to waive the tuition for him. But Yuuya has low self-confidence, and feels he isn't genius enough to attend. The chairman defines a genius as someone who discovered their direction faster than others and is otherwise just a normal person. Hard work will always help one get closer to the right answer. While talent is useful, as someone still searching for a path, it shouldn't define who you are. It's just as important to challenge yourself and have fun while doing it. Therefore, there's no need to rush, and the chairman encourages him to do a trial run at the school for a day. Yuuya is then introduced to his teacher for the day, Ms. Sawada. She tells him not to be too nervous, and the chairman introduces her as an authoritative figure in the science world. Her classes are easy to understand, so she is well received by the students. And so, Yuuya nervously stands outside the classroom to be formally introduced. He worries he won't fit in, but remembering the chairman's words, he composes himself and steps inside. He nervously introduces himself, but the students remain silent and Yuuya perceives it negatively, but in fact, everyone was just taken aback by his handsome appearance. He is directed to his seat, and the girl next to him politely shares her textbook, but her apathetic tone causes him to assume she already dislikes him. At the same time, Kaori is also hoping Yuuya is getting along with his classmates. He realizes that the class itself isn't different from what he's used to, but the students are much more proactive in their studies. During lunch, the students surround him to ask questions, and the attention makes him feel overwhelmed. But a student named Rio comes in to disperse the crowd, and he apologizes for them, explaining everyone is curious about him. He invites him to come eat with him in the cafeteria, and Yuuya immediately gets impressed by how varied and cheap the menu is. Another student calls them over, and he is introduced to Shingo. The two get into a heated discussion about anime, and Yuuya is surprised they watch it. While eating, he noticed many eyes are on him, and he feels it's his uniform that stands out, but obviously, they are checking him out. Shingo asks if Yuuya is in any clubs, to which he denies, and he learns that Rio is also a part of the Go Home Club. This is because he is good at many sports, so he has a hard time deciding which to join. Shingo, on the other hand, proudly states he's in the game club. Yuuya is surprised they can bring games to school, but the teachers trust they won't use them in class and allow it. With the guys talking about games, Yuuya slowly opens up to them. After school ended, Yuuya meets with the chairman to discuss his day, and he admits how impressed he was with everything. He saw how everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves, and they treat him like a normal human. The chairman asks about his decision, but Yuuya still doesn't feel he is worthy. On the contrary, the chairman judges he is more than worthy of joining the academy, so Yuuya finally decided to continue attending. As he leaves the room, he bumps into Kaori, who overheard their conversation. She is relieved about his choice to stay, and invites him out into a popular area in town. Yuuya asks if she comes here with her friends, but she admits she doesn't have many chances to hang out with others. Her father and her family's position make many reserved around her, but she wants to spend time with Yuuya. A nervous Yuuya suggests a crepe shop. They both eat their crepes and are enjoying each other's company, and Yuuya thinks about trying out the entire menu, but then worries about maintaining his weight, afraid that he will return to his old self. He changes the topic to ask how Kaori recognized him when his appearance drastically changed, and she replies that his kind and honest eyes have remained the same. She requests Yuuya to call her by her first name, and he reluctantly agrees, and as a token of friendship, she offers him to try some of her crepe. He takes a bite while embarrassed, and Kaori quickly realizes why. Yuuya also offers her his crepe, and a flustered Kaori also takes a bite. The people around them watch on, expressing that the two suit each other. Later, Yuuya puts on a full suit of armor, and enters the other world. Even now he is afraid, but he still fights the monsters. However, he notices he's leveling more slowly now, and determines that staying close to the house won't help him get better. Looking to challenge himself, he steps outside the boundaries but immediately hears a scream in the distance. He rushes over and discovers a number of dead soldiers. The perpetrator is a level 200 goblin general, and seeing the injured girl behind it, he quickly decides to attack the monster. He makes a dynamic entry and defeats the goblin. Or so he thought. The girl warns him as the goblin attacks from behind, and he gets smacked. He realizes he's much weaker than it in both power and speed, but he believes he can defeat it using things unique to him. Essentially, he pulls out his overpowered equipment to fight the monster until he finds an opening to exploit and defeat it. With that done, he goes over to check on the girl, but she ends up fainting. He hears some men calling for her in the distance and hides himself using a skill. It's a group of knights, and the leader is happy to see that she is still alive.